Hi everyone, Refresh here. I'm going to be taking my Avacyn Restored sealed decks and pitting them against the Face the Hydra challenge deck from Theros. So I have the two decks right here. And for this particular game, I'll be using the Harvester for both of them. So that's one of their hero cards. The other hero card will be the Hunter for my blue-white flyer blinker deck, and the Avenger for my black-green, I guess, value deck. I don't know what else to call that. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to play them first at normal difficulty with 3 heads, and then I'll try it again with 4 heads at higher difficulty. So that's what I'm going to do. Here, the first 7 cards that each deck will draw. This is the hand. It looks alright for the blue-white deck, for the Zorius deck. The black-green deck will probably need a mulligan because it's all lands and Timberland Guide. It's not terribly exciting here. So let's redo this. Go to 6. Although it's a multiplayer game, so I guess we go to 7 for the first one. And then 6 thereafter. Okay, mulligan number 1. Oh, here's a random card. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Alright, we got lands, we got castable cards. I think it's a start. And the bomb is in the hand, so that's pretty good. Alright. Turn 1, we will play, let's play this here Plains for you, and this here Forest for you, and then we're going to end the turn, and we'll give it to the Hydra. The Hydra will play their first card, which is Torn Between Heads, tap up to 2 heads, they do not untap, then Torn Between Heads deals 5 damage to each player. So, we're at 15 here, and 15 here. Player's turn. We're going to loot before the next turn. So both players will draw a card, and then they'll discard a card each. A Deerheath Pilgrim and a Swamp. So right now, there's not... Let's see. This gives the player lifelink, which is pretty cool. Drawing a card for each human might be pretty good. Moonlit Geist is a 2/1, and this is a 1/1 that blinks. There's not a lot of damage that this player can do. I think we're gonna play this. I misplayed. I should have played that last turn. Well, that's what I learned. So, let's discard. Nothing really requires a lot of land yet, so let's get some humans on the battlefield, and then maybe. Yeah, let's get some humans on that battlefield. So we'll drop this because we don't need that many lands right now. And then this player, Terrifying Presence is probably the weakest of the bunch, so we'll drop that. Okay, start the turn. We draw these, Geist Trappers and a Cloud Shift. This player will play the Island and play the Smuggler. This player will play the Swamp and play the Timberland Guide, putting the counter on itself. Target creature. I guess I could put it on anything, but I think putting it on itself is probably the best play. Well, let me think. Yeah. Alright, and that's the end of that. We can't do anything else here, so we're going to pass the turn to the Hydra. These don't untap this turn. Hydra casts the top card. It is put exactly 2 cards named Hydra Head onto the battlefield from the graveyard. If you can't reveal the top card of the library until you reveal a head and put that on the battlefield, and then put the rest in the graveyard. Oh, there it is. Alright. Oh, the players also took an additional dash for that untapped head. So we're at 14, and then we take 2 more damage to go to 12. Not great, but I think we're getting started. We're going to harvest at the end of the Hydra's turn. Draw a Forest and a Zealous Strike. Right now, it looks like Cloud Shift is probably the weakest. There's not much for it to do, so let's drop that. And then this one, well, I mean, we want to get all the lands eventually to play the Pathbreaker Worm. The Geist Trappers having Reach is, well, it's a 3/5, it's still a good body. So let's go ahead and drop the extra swamp. Hope that we draw into more lands as we need it. Yeah, okay. Beginning the next turn. All things are untapped. We're drawing your cards. An island and a forest. Like I said, more lands. Just as I thought I would. Get them. I think getting the life gain going with the Near Heat Pilgrim is probably the best call right now. So let's go ahead and play the third land. Tap all, or we're just going to tap 2, right? Yeah, we're just going to tap 2. Play the Near Heat Pilgrim, soul bonding these two so that this has lifelink. And then the 3 of these can, I'll go ahead and play a forest now. The 3 of these can go in and kill 1 head. So this head dies. Both players get 2 life. Go into 14. And then we see, and this one goes to 15 because of the tapped Smuggler. And then we'll see if there are any new heads. No new heads. That's good. Alright. Second main. Nothing for this player. This player. Oh. Also nothing. Okay. Going to the next turn. Hydra's next turn. These finally untap. Draw. Play a Snapping Fang head. Uh-oh. That deals 1 damage to each player at the end step. So we are taking 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 damage each. That takes this one to 9. And this one to 8. Okay. And then we're going to loot. Temporal Mastery. If it's the first card you draw this turn, I think 7 is too expensive since we didn't draw it as the first card this turn. Wait. Take a turn. If it's the first card you drew this turn, it is the first card that we drew this turn. Unfortunately, we can't cast it because we don't have enough mana. So 7 mana is too much. This one probably drop the forest for now. Okay, go into the turn. Draw. Crypt Creeper and Banishing Stroke. Okay. So the play is play the swamp, play this island. So now we have all the lands out on the battlefield. With 4, I could play the Moon Silver Spear, which is not bad for you. 4, I could play the Moonlight Geist. I think we need to get rid of that Snapping Fang head. So this is probably going to, instead of playing the Moonlight Spear, I'm probably going to just use the Avenger to knock out the Geist with the Timberline Guide. These 2 will attack and finish off one of the Hydra heads. And I think that's a good play. Alternatively, no, I can't cast this yet. Oh, I just cast it. I just drew this. Right? If I just drew this, then I think the play is to actually use the Banishing Stroke immediately to put the Snapping Fang head at the bottom of the deck, and when it leaves the battlefield, each player gains 4 life and draws 1 card. This goes to the bottom of the battlefield. Each player gains 4 life. This goes to 13. This goes to 12. And they both draw a card, which is pretty cool. And then, 1, 2, there is a Ravenous Brute head on the battlefield. So now we can decide what we're going to do. I think the best play here is to, might still be to kill the Ravenous Brute head with this one, and then kill the other heads with that one, with those 2. Yeah, let's do that. And then we'll cast a Moonlight Geist with this one. Okay, so we're going to tap 3 lands here, and give this Death Touch, and it'll attack the Ravenous Brute head. We'll attack the other 2 of these 2 life-linked creatures. So both of these will die. Players will get 4 life each. This will go to 17. This will go to 16. Except you get 3 more life from these, so you go back to 20. And they both draw a card. There are the cards. You can play nothing. You will probably play the Moonlight Geist, because you might as well. There we go. And then we're going to pass the turn back to the Hydra. Oh, we got to see if there's new heads. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, Hydra's turn. Plays this card. It's a new Hydra head. 4 damage to each player. That's 16 and 12. And we're going to loot at the end of the turn. Draw a card. Get all those islands. Let's ditch an island. And then this one we'll ditch. We have so many cards that can be played. I think 2 Geist Trappers is probably more than needed. We'll drop that. Okay. Then we'll go into turn. Draw. Another Zealous Strike and Bone Splinters. Alright. The play will be play this forest, play this island, and then I don't think I need to Zealous Strike. I can draw to see what my new options are. Maybe that's probably the best play with this one. This one will probably want to play maybe the Geist Trappers or the Crypt Creeper. No, we'll keep the Crypt Creeper for like an emergency blowout. We might as well cast a big thing or a damage maker. So let's go ahead and attack and see what pops back up after the attack. We can kill 1, 2, 3 things between all of these creatures. So these 2 attack. This attacks to kill 1 head. This attacks with this to kill another head. This alone is not going to kill anything. But if I Druid's Familiar, this, then this is a 4/4, and this is a 4/4. And this 4/4 can kill a thing. So 3 heads are going to die. Yeah, 3 heads die. Each player gets 6 life. This goes to 22. This goes to 18. But you get 3 more life, so it's actually 25. And then we'll see how many heads resurface. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1 Hydra head. Okay, and then this one will go ahead and do the Mass Appeal. And we'll draw 2 cards off the 2 humans. Okay. Haunted Guardian's pretty bad. I'm gonna keep it because it can't even attack. So I'm gonna keep it to toss with this Harvester the next turn. And that'll be the end of that. Okay, the end of the turn. It is now Hydra's turn. Hydra's first action is to cast this card. Destroy each tapped non-head creature, or each player is dealt 5 damage. I think the damage is much better since like everything's tapped. So 5 here. There's plenty of life to go around. And 5 here to go to 13. And then take 2 more from these to go to 18 here and 11 here. And then loot. Angelic Armaments and a Plains. Let's ditch the Haunted Guardian because it does nothing against this deck. And this one we'll want to ditch. Dang. Probably Evernight Shade. Because it's a little mana intensive right now. Alright. Turn. Untap all the things. Draw. Okay. Play the Swamp. Play the Plains. We can attack to kill both. I think that's the plan. This one will attack by itself with the Hunter, and the Timberland Guide will attack to kill both. They both die. Each player gains 4 life. So you're at 22 plus 2, so 24. And you're at 15. And then we'll cast some things. Oh, we gotta see what comes up. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, game over. The Avacyn Restored decks take down the Hydra with pretty easily. It wasn't really tense at any point. Alright, stay tuned for the difficult mode to 4 heads. Thank you. Refresh is back with another round of Avacyn Restored versus Face the Hydra challenge deck from Theros. I'm going in difficult mode now against 4 Hydra heads, and we will see if these 2 decks can overcome them. So let's start with our 7 cards. Alright, flip them. Got Plains, Island, okay. One of everything. It's a bit slow, but I think we have to keep it. Considering this is not a standard deck. We got all the lands, and again, it's a little bit slow, but I think we have to keep it. So we'll start with this and see where we go. Ready? Turn 1. Nothing I can play. Let's go ahead and play the Island and the Swamp. And we will pass to the Hydra. The Hydra flips this card. It's another head. All players take 5 damage. It takes this one to 15 and this one to 15. And then we're going to loot just so we can get to the better cards faster. We have Bone Splinters and another Plains. Well, we don't need that many Plains, so we're going to drop this Plains. I think we get rid of a Forest in this case. Or maybe the Pathbreaker Worm. Because Trample is not terribly useful. But it does do 6, it does have 6 power. Eventually I'll want to get to it, and this will get me to Driver of the Dead. So I don't really have much to sacrifice to Bone Splinters right now. No undying creatures. Perhaps. No, I'm gonna get rid of the Pathbreaker Worm. Maybe I'll get something else at another point, but I don't want to be stuck with it like the last game with it dead in my hand. So we'll do that. We'll go to the next turn. Alright, we got an Angel and a Crypt Creeper. Now we have something I can sacrifice. Not quite. It's just a 2-1. Alright, let us play a Plains And nothing here. Play a forest, and we'll go ahead and play the Crypt Creeper, because that's something. And we will pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra plays this card. It is a Savage Vigorhead. That means that it casts an additional card at the end step. It's pretty brutal. Alright, so we're hitting the end step. We're going to cast an additional card. Just deal 5 damage to each player or destroy each tapped non-head creature. We're going to destroy each tapped non-head creature because there are none. And we're going to take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 damage each to go to 8 apiece. It's kind of slow, guys. I think we're going to have to do some winning fast. Before we do that, let's go ahead and loot again. We have a second Bone Splinters and an island. I think the second planes can go for this deck. Voice of the Province probably can go, actually. It's going to be a while before we get there. We need to move faster than that. This deck, second Bone Splinters can go. Yeah. Alright. I don't know. This is going to be hard to win. Let's go ahead and cast another Swamp. And then play an island. Okay, so this is pretty dangerous territory here. I have to gain some life, and I have to get rid of that big guy. Getting rid of the big guy I can do by giving this Death Touch for the turn. And this will just cast a Thraben Valiant. I think that's what I do. Okay. So, tap all, give this Death Touch. This will go in and finish off the Savage Vigorhead. So it dies. Each player gains 4 life. That'll help us live just a little bit longer. 12. And then both players will draw off of that. Haunted Guardian's pretty useless against this creature, so we'll go ahead and cast the Valiant. And then we will pass the turn, because not much we can do now, to the Hydra. Oh, and we gotta see if the Hydra spawns any more heads. No more heads, okay. Now we'll go to the Hydra's turn. We'll play Noxious Hydra Breath. Either deal 5 damage to each player or destroy each tapped non-head creature. 5 damage, and we're going to take another 5. That's 10 damage. We can't really afford to get the 2, so I think we just have to destroy the Crypt Keeper. We'll sack it to exile Savage Vigorhead, I guess. Just cause. Why not? No damage taken. We'll take 5 each to go to 7. And then we'll loot. Alright, Haunted Guardian can go. Here, I think we can drop the extra forest. And then we'll go to turns. Okay, draw. Temple Mastery. I think we're going to go ahead and use that right now. So this player gets a second turn, which I think will be good, but this player doesn't. I think that's how it works. So these two are going to be stopped, but that's still pretty good, I think. Alright, we're still in the middle of the turn, so let's go ahead and play another Plains. And we have 2 mana open here. We'll play another Forest here with 4 mana open. I think it is time to play, I think, Driver of the Dead? Yeah, because if it dies we can get the other creature back, so that's a pretty good play on this side. And if necessary we can even sack it to get a creature back onto the battlefield and blow up a super big guy. So that's a pretty good creature for this deck. For this side, we're going to go ahead and pump this up with the Hunter and attack to kill a Hydra Head. This Hydra head dies, both players get 2 life to go to 9. And then we'll see if there are any new heads. No new heads. Okay. And then we will end this player's turn. We're going to harvest at the end of the turn. So we'll draw and discard. Draw. Tormentor's Trident is pretty good. And to discard, I think the Elegon Shieldmate is a bit expensive for what it does. It doesn't really interact well with this, so we'll discard this. And then untap this player, draw, and then we'll play another island. I think we just gotta get more bodies on the battlefield, so maybe this and the Tormentor's Trident. Yeah, okay. We'll attack with Thrabid Valiant to finish off another head, giving each player 2 more life. Then we'll see if it replaces itself. No. And then we will play both the Moonlit Geist and the Tormentor's Trident, which I will start putting on creatures if I need to. And that is the end of this turn. It is now the Hydra's turn. The Hydra will play this card, which put 2 Hydra heads from the graveyard into the battlefield. I believe we can. There's 1, there's 2, yep. So that draws out the game a bit more. We take 5 damage apiece to go to 6. And then we're gonna loot. Geist Trappers, that'll be able to be played. Gloom Widow, Terrifying Presence. I think Terrifying Presence will go on this side, just because these don't deal combat damage. On this side, 5 mana is really going to be the top of whatever I'm going to need. But I think Zealous Strike might be less useful than activating this ability, maybe. So let's drop our 2/1 Tapper. It's not very good. Let's drop the Tapper. Tapper's gone. Okay, turns. Draw. Okay, Voice of the Provinces. I'm glad I kept it. Alright, we'll play this Forest. And then we'll play this Plains. So we want to attack and kill things. You'll attack and you'll kill a head. You'll attack and you'll kill a head. I want to cast Voice of the Provinces, so I don't think I'm going to attack with Moonlight Geist, because it's not going to be able to finish a head off. But I can kill 2 heads, which is pretty good. And then this one can cast the Geist Trappers afterwards to make another guy. So 2 heads down. We go to 10 each, which is good. Let's see what we get. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay, so we have a Shrieking Titan head and a Ravenous Brute head. The Shrieking Titan makes us discard, which is really bad. So we actually have to finish it off. To finish it off, we can either Bone Splinters the Driver of the Dead to get back to 2/1, which I don't like because the Driver of the Dead is good at killing things. I think the better call is, instead of casting the Voice of the Provinces, we cast a Mistraven to bounce it to finish it off, and then we'll take less damage and we'll gain some life and draw some cards. So let's do that. So Mistraven enters the battlefield. It bounces this, which kills it in Hydra language, and then we both gain 4 life to go to 14, which is pretty good. We draw a card each, and we see if there are any new heads. 1, 2. Okay, Nefalious Smugglers plus Mistraven is a crazy combo against this guy, and so that I am going to look forward to do. This player will go ahead and play the Geist Trappers, because that's good. They'll be soul bonded, so they both have reach, even if it's useless, might as well. And then we will pass the turn to the Hydra. The Hydra draws this card and plays it. Deals X damage, where X is the number of heads on the battlefield. So we take 4 damage, plus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 damage. So that is 9 damage. We're going to 5 life, which is pretty bad. But I think we have just the numbers to be able to get through and win. So let's loot. I don't think we need many more lands. Having the extra land will let me play the Voice of the Province plus the Smuggler. So let's drop the Zealot Strike. This one doesn't need more lands. So let's go ahead and drop the Swamp. And we'll go into turns. Draw. Okay, more lands. Land, forest. So, I mean, Golden Knight Commander is pretty bonkers with this team and being able to cast a Nefalious Smuggler. So, I think that might be even better. And then Nefalious Smuggler will do this and we'll just really be able to wreck house. And I think that's what we should do. So we're going to cast the Golden Knight Commander. So it's on the battlefield. Then we're going to cast the Nefalious Smuggler, which gives each of these +1/+1. And then these 3 can each kill one of those heads. These 2 will kill the final head. I think that's a good play. Let's do it. Alright. All the heads die. We gain 8 life and draw a card. So that's to 13. 13. Draw a card each. And then we see if there are any replacements. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright, there are 2 new heads to replace the gone ones, which is much more manageable. The team is very large now, so I think it's going to be alright. This player will go ahead and cast I might as well cast the second Geist Trappers. Actually, 5, 6. Yeah, let's cast the second Geist Trappers. It will not bond. I think there's no reason to. And then, I can cast Druid Familiar on the next turn. So, that's it. Let us go to the Hydra's turn. The Hydra plays this card. We get 2 more heads back from the graveyard to the battlefield. That's that. And then the heads do 4 damage each, or to each player. So we're down to 9. And let's loot. Let's toss the island, and we can probably toss a forest, and we'll go into turns. Okay. Oops. Draw. Get an island and a swamp. Let's go ahead and play the swamp. Okay, I think we can kill everything. I mean, I don't even need to cast Voice of the Provinces, but I might as well. It just makes my guys huge. Alright. So let's go ahead and cast Voice of the Provinces on this side to pump my guys. I cast Voice of the Provinces. It creates a human and 2 creatures that enter the battlefield. So all of these creatures gain +2/+2. So they're all quite huge. On this side, let's cast well, there's no need to do this right now. Okay, so all these creatures are huge. Everything can die. Let's go ahead and send in you and the Driver of the Dead and the Geist Trappers to kill all 4 of these creatures. All 4 heads die. Each player gains 8 life to go to 17. So it's starting to look a lot better. And then we see if the heads replace themselves. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yep, we have 3 heads now. Hydra head, a Hydra head, Ravenous Brute head. And now that all that's done, let's go ahead and tap out this side to cast a Druid's Familiar and pair it with the Gloom Widow. So now we have a 4/4 and a 5/5. It's pretty good. And then we are done. I think there's no more looting now because Mass Appeal is all we have left here. So let's go to the Hydra. Hydra takes their turn. They play a Swallow the Hero whole. Each player exiles a creature until the next turn. When a head leaves the battlefield, return the exiled card to the battlefield under their control. So, we're all exiling a creature. I think getting a creature back that can exile a head, that can beat a head, is not bad. So, we want to exile. We'll exile this Geist Trapper. And we'll exile. If we exile a Mystery Raven, when it comes back after we kill a head, yeah, then we're going to get it back and it'll kill another head by itself. So that's actually beneficial. It's a free bounce. Okay. And then we will take 1, 2, 3, 4 damage apiece to go to 13 each. And then we will go to the next turn, no looting. Okay, draw. Just play the lands. Play a land, play a land. On this turn, let's draw. Let's go ahead and see what we get. 1, 2, 3. Play the Mass Appeal. And we'll get 1, 2, 3, 4 cards. Not bad. All land, but it's land I don't have to draw later. So that's not bad. Okay. Next, we can cast a creature. Well, okay. It's going to be overkill no matter what we do. So, I gotta figure out how these triggers work, because now it's a little confusing. We need to attack. Well, let's go ahead and play the Scrapskin Drake to get all my team plus whatever. Plus numbers. Okay, so the whole team is +1/+1. That means I can attack with just these 2 to kill the Ravenous Brute head. Actually, I don't even need that much. What I can do is pay all the rest of the mana, slap the Tormentor's Trident on like the Midnight Geist. The Midnight Geist is now a 6/2, and it will finish off that head. And then Thriving Valiant will finish off another head. And I'll go ahead and send the Driver of the Dead at the last head. So all of these will die. As they die, this triggers, and this triggers. So this triggers first on their death, which means each player gains 6 life. So that's 19. We both throw a card. And then on their dead, this also triggers. So we'll see if there are 6, 3, 4, 5, 6. No new heads. So the game ends, but the final trigger resolves and these return to the battlefield. That can return a target creature, but there's no need at this point because we just won. So Avacyn Restored team took down the 4 Hydra heads. It was a little tense at times, but I think the board was just in the favor of the Avacyn Restored team. So that's the end of that. This has been Refresh. Thanks for watching. Give it a thumbs up if you enjoyed these videos. I'll make more when I can. I will be now moving on to these 2 decks versus the Battle of the Horde, and we'll see how that goes. But thanks for watching, and I will see you next time.